Greatest Tennis Moments. Welcome to the Love All Tennis channel. Today we're going to go through the 10 greatest moments in tennis. Kindly subscribe and enjoy the video. To begin with, everyone will have a different view on what is the greatest tennis match of all time. It may come down to the age you were born in. Were you pulling for Bjorn Borg or John McEnroe, Steffi Graf or Monica Seles, Pete Sampras or Andre Agassi, Roger Federer or Rafael Nadal? Perhaps you were fortunate enough to be unattached to a player and could simply enjoy the sport for what it was. We envy those folks because we can't manage the nail-biting fifth set, break points, and tie breaks, and we're not even playing. The fact that you were a part of tennis history is incredible. We've been blessed with fantastic rivalries on the court and contests generation after generation. So our IHCTA team discussed the greatest tennis matches of all time over lunch. Number 10. Goran Ivanisevic versus Pat Rafter, 2001 Wimbledon Final. Goran Ivanisevic won 6-3, 3-6, 6-3, 2-6, 9-7. If this were a tennis fairy tale, this would undoubtedly be the screenplay. Ivanisevic was ranked 125th in the world by the summer of 2001. This ranking was too low to be in the main draw, but because he had previously reached 3 Wimbledon finals, all 3 times losing to Agassi and Sampras, he was given a wildcard entrance. He upset former and future world number 1 players Carlos Moya, Andy Roddick, and Marat Safin in the quarterfinals before defeating home favorite Tim Henman in a 5-set rain-affected semifinal to set up a match with last year's runner-up and former U.S. Open champion Patrick Rafter. Ivanisevic was competing in her first singles final since 1998. Ivanisevic defeated Rafter 6-3, 3-6, 6-3, 2-6, 9-7 in a match that lasted a little over 3 hours. Ivanisevic won Wimbledon as the lowest-ranked player and the first wildcard entry. His first Grand Slam victory was won thanks to his powerful left-handed serve. Number 9. Rafael Nadal versus Novak Djokovic, 2013 French Open semifinal. Rafael Nadal won 6-4, 3-6, 6-1, 6-7, 3-7, 9-7. The king of clay and the greatest clay court player of all time versus the player in the best form on the planet. Surely this would result in a fireworks display. It did, and it was a spectacle. Both players displayed unrivaled talent in a battle of arduous ground stroke and extended rallies. It felt like a boxing match, with each player attempting to knock out the other. Both players lifted their tennis to the next level in the 5th. Nadal eventually won a break point in the 5th game to secure the match and win his 2nd French Open title. Djokovic returned to the French Open final the next 2 years, but was defeated by Nadal and Wawrinka. He will finally win the championship in 2016. Number 8. Monica Seles versus Steffi Graf, 1995 U.S. Open Final. Steffi Graf won 7-6, 0-6, and 6-3. Tennis enthusiasts all over the world are certainly familiar with Monica's story. She had won 8 Grand Slams at the age of 20. In the age of Graf and Navratilova, Seles was already world number 1 and on her way to making tennis history. Then, in 1993, a terrible chapter in tennis occurred when she was stabbed on the court by an unstable spectator. The physical injury was minimal, but the mental road to recovery was not. It took 2 years to recover from it. Her first major tournament back was the 1995 U.S. Open. She reached the final after defeating a number of top 10 players along the way, where she faced her greatest rival, Steffi Graf. The quality of play in this match has the potential to transform women's tennis. On a game-winning point, Seles hit an ace that would have helped him take the first set, but a delayed call by the line judge ruled it out. Graf then won the opening set. Monica Seles delivered one of the best sets in tennis history in the 2nd set. She annihilated Graf, winning 6-0 in under 26 minutes and advancing to the next level of tennis. Surprisingly, Graf played the best tennis of her life in the 3rd set, pushing the bar even higher. which he won the third and final set 6-3. Number 7. Novak Djokovic versus Roger Federer, 2019 Wimbledon Final. Novak Djokovic won 7-6, 1-6, 7-6, 4-6, 13-12. Because this final was only held 2019, you might wonder if it deserves to be on this list. But it qualifies when you have two of the greatest players in the final of the biggest tournament playing their best tennis. If any Roger fan in the world was going to watch their idol lift a trophy one more time, this was it. Federer was showcasing why he's the GOAT, just a few weeks shy of his 38th birthday. His game was an art form that propelled him to the final against Djokovic. He played some fantastic tennis and eventually set up 2 match points, but Novak saved both and went on to win the match in a 5th set tiebreak after nearly 5 hours. Wimbledon's regulation has recently changed, so the last set went to a tiebreak at 12-all. We're not sure if we like the new rule. Number 6. John Isner versus Nicolas Mahut, 2010 Wimbledon first round. John Isner won 6-4, 3-6, 6-7, 7-9, 7-6, 7-3, 70-68. We're not sure if we like the Wimbledon rule change because it has the potential to make tennis history. A first-round tennis encounter rarely makes the list of the best tennis matches. However, this specific contest is rarely left off the list. Both players are by no means regarded as greats of the game, but this game made headlines all around the world because it never appeared to stop. Number 5. Pete Sampras versus Agassi, 2001 US Open quarterfinal. Pete Sampras won 6-7, 7-6, 7-6, 7-6. Sampras and Agassi were the finest players of the 1990s, and their styles of play were virtually diametrically opposed. Sampras maintained his cool, calm, and collected demeanor, where Agassi was an unpredictable rebel. They didn't like each other very much at the time. But put the two best American players on the same court in front of their home fans at the US Open, and you're in for a treat. Although their greatest tennis was likely behind them, this was one of their most exciting matches. All 4 sets proceeded to tiebreaks, with Sampras winning 3 of them thanks to his powerful serve. There was not a single serve break. At the end, the crowd gave both players a standing ovation, a great moment in tennis history. Number 4. Novak Djokovic versus Rafael Nadal, 2012 Australian Open Final. Novak Djokovic won 5-7, 6-4, 6-2, 6-7, 7-5. The finest Australian Open tennis final in history and the longest Grand Slam final in history. Novak Djokovic recently defeated an in-form Andy Murray in the semifinals of the 2011 Grand Slams. Nadal was also playing some of his greatest tennis at the time. Nadal won the first set 7-5 after an 80-minute battle in which each player fought for every point. Djokovic fought back, winning the next 2 sets 6-4 and 6-2. Although the score appeared to be one-sided at the time, it could have gone either way. In the 8th game of the 4th set, Djokovic was up 4-3 and 40-0 on Nadal's serve. Rafa did what he does best. He fought with everything he had and unleashed his forehand twice, both times with winners that won him the game and the set. Nadal broke early in the 5th set to take a 4-2 lead, but it was Djokovic who broke back, demonstrating his fighting spirit. Finally, in the 11th game, Djokovic was able to break Nadal's serve and hold his own to reclaim his favorite prize. The contest was 5 hours and 53 minutes long. Every single point was fantastic. Number 3. Roger Federer versus Andy Roddick, 2009 Wimbledon Final. Roger Federer won 5-7, 7-6, 6, 7-6, 5, 3-6, 16-14. While Roger may be the best player of all time, even his most ardent supporters would have forgotten him if he had lost to Roddick. Roddick was the people's player, someone who gave it everything yet always seemed to fall short against Federer. One of the most heartbreaking facts about him is that he only won 1 Grand Slam. The final set was one of the most dramatic and heart-stopping tennis contests you'll ever see. Andy Roddick's serve was only broken once. Despite losing this match, Roddick set a record for the most games won in a Wimbledon final with 39. This was his fourth Grand Slam final meeting with Federer, all of which Federer won. The match was the longest men's Grand Slam final in history, lasting 77 games, and featured the fifth set in a men's Grand Slam final. When pressed to reflect on his long performance after the match, Roddick just stated, "I lost." Number 2. Bjorn Borg vs. John McEnroe, 1980 Wimbledon Final. Bjorn Borg won 1-6, 7-5, 6-3, 6-7, 16-18, 8-6. Many would have this as number 1 on their list, and we thought long and hard about it. It saw Bjorn Borg, who was probably the coolest person to ever play the game, against John McEnroe, the American hothead who brought all the drama. Another legendary tennis rivalry. Having lost the opening set to an all-out McEnroe assault, Bjork took the next two and had 2 championship points at 5-4 in the fourth. However, McEnroe averted disaster and went on to level the match in Wimbledon's most memorable 34-point tiebreaker, which he won 18-16. In the fourth set tiebreak, McEnroe saved 5 match points and Bjork 6 set points before McEnroe won the set. Bjorn served first to begin the fifth set and fell behind 15-40. Borg then won 19 straight points on serve in the deciding set and prevailed after 3 hours and 53 minutes. It was Borg's 5th straight Wimbledon title. It was also his last. Borg himself commented years later that this was the first time that he was afraid that he would lose, as well as feeling that it was the beginning of the end of his dominance. Borg met McEnroe again in the 1981 Wimbledon final and lost. Number 1. Roger Federer vs. Rafael Nadal, 2008 Wimbledon final. Rafael Nadal won 6-4, 6-4, 6-7, 5-7, 6-7, 6-8, 9-7. This is the 5th Wimbledon final that has made the list. At that event, there was magic and moments that will be remembered forever. Federer had previously won 5 Wimbledon titles in a row, including victories over Nadal in 2006 and 2007. They had won 14 of the previous 16 Grand Slams between them. But this was to be the greatest tennis match of all time, because Nadal was the king of clay and Federer was the king of grass. Everyone assumed Federer already had one hand on the crown. Despite being the underdog, Nadal took the opening 2 sets 6-4, 6-4. The next 2 sets featured some of the best tennis ever played in the sport's history. In the 4th set, Nadal led 5-2 at one point and had championship points, but Federer held on and won the match. The 5th set was equally epic, with both players grabbing the lead and going close to winning only for the game to continue indefinitely. Nadal eventually got the break and won 9-7. Nadal's fighting spirit saw through him. He miraculously saved 12 of the 13 break points he faced. They played 4 hours and 48 minutes of great grass court tennis on the world's most recognized court, the longest final in Wimbledon history. The last points were scored beneath a darkening London sky. If you want to watch more amazing videos like this, kindly subscribe and click the like button to become part of our family.